Meet Mark Valentich. Today, he's here to share his journey and the strategies he's used to overcome the holiday sales slump and keep his business thriving. Over the years, Mark has learned what works and what doesn't, and he's here to break it down for you. Let's dive in as Mark reveals the lessons and tactics that have helped him stay on track.
You've done some chats with us in the past, but if you could just kind of give us a quick rundown who you are and why you're qualified to host this sales training today, if you will.
So I've been in the business for it'll be 21 years next month. On the cusp of getting my 65, finally. I'm foolish for not having it for 10 years or so. So if you do not have your 65 license, get it. I think that's the future of this business. And every agent friend of mine who got their 65 started doing more annuity production with the availability of doing securities. Just brought my daughter into the business. It's fun. She doesn't realize that I talk to her like an employee sometimes, and I don't mean that in a nurturing way, but kind of also in an Ari Gold kind of way. Like at the end of the day, I don't give a crap. This is a business. Here's how we do things.
And you've been with us for how long now?
2 years.
What kind of territory are you in? Do you mainly just stay in PA, stay around the Pittsburgh area? How far do you venture out?
So when it comes to doing in person, I mean, if you're within 50 air miles of me, I'm going to go see you. All of my room marketing is Pennsylvania, but I am going to start doing more in person. Although my daughter's coming into the business, I'm going to start to teach her how to do the room side of things as well, and also do some other things. But I'm basically, I would say half my clients are still right here within 25 air miles of me, actually.
Have you had to kind of like change your demeanor, sort of change your sales acumen, venturing out, or does that translate pretty well going from local to widen that scope a little bit?
So it's funny. I always say that the best and worst things that happened to me for business was COVID. It was good because I was acclimated to doing even with people who are close, I still try to do meetings on Zoom. And the problem is COVID kind of forced everybody to at least make that part of their business. So the advantage I had, the competitive advantage I felt I had, got erased kind of quickly. The good thing is I've been doing this for quite a while. So I hate to say this, it might sound really selfish. I'd rather spend time and hang out with my family in my house than driving all over God's green earth for appointments.
The topic that we really wanted to focus on today was sales slumps. I'm sure you've gone through that, but specifically around the holidays, I know it's just kind of a different beast. You have Thanksgiving, it takes up half a week and trickles into Black Friday. And then pretty much once Thanksgiving wraps up, we, head right into the Christmas season. And now Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are literally like 2 weeks away from today. So yeah, just kind of curious, your general thoughts around that. Do you still try to sell through that? Are you one of those guys like, hey, I've been grinding all year for 50 weeks. I'm cool taking those 2 weeks off around Christmas to treat myself. So it's kind of like just your general sentiment as the holiday season comes up.
To answer the question more directly, I've never had a sales slump I didn't cause. I think the funniest thing that people in sales tell themselves is, oh, it's around the holidays. What can you do? You can work harder, or you can work so hard during the rest of the year so that you can afford to, I don't want to say take the time off, but let the foot off the gas a little bit. My successful friends in this business, they do not have sales slumps. They might have a month where they close a little bit less, and that's going to be part of the ebb and flow, but it's not because of Christmas or because it's summer and vacations.
So you mentioned that like any slump that you felt was self-induced, if you will. So just curious if you could share a little bit about like what you did that caused that. Were you able to recognize it like in retrospective and, obviously moving forward, like, okay, don't do that again?
It's ironic. I was thinking about this morning and I got an email from a client of mine, and this client, the sale I made to that client is what started a sales slump around the holidays. I closed like 1.25 million in like 3 weeks. I came back from vacation. I closed these 3 deals right away, and it was like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I made my $100,000 here in a matter of, a couple weeks. You know what? I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to kick back and relax. I worked hard all year, and I did work hard all year. The problem is 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and the week after Thanksgiving, and then up to Christmas, and the week after Christmas. And just like that, by March 15th, I started making sales again. So my little sales slump went from basically November 15th to March 15th. So it was a 5-month sales slump on my own because I had this mentality like a lottery winner does, where, hey, I made all this money in a short period of time. Now I'm going to enjoy. And even though I was trying to be a little bit benevolent with my time, trying to help everybody else and tell myself I worked really hard, what I should have done had I gone back in time, I could kick myself in the ass and say, look, you worked really hard. Don't screw it up. Now, that great 3-week stretch I had probably cost me twice as much as what I made in it, just because it really, it took me out of the game. And I think the good thing is that happened to me and made me realize that, look, It's your fault. Don't be an idiot. Don't ever do that again.
So you mentioned like obviously there were lessons learned there, it sounds like. So what have you done since then to kind of adjust through this time of year? Maybe you did hit big again before Thanksgiving. And you mentioned a lot of what you're doing now is kind of getting ready for when the new year turns around. So what does that look like? Is it you still dialing leads? You start trying to get people on the phone? It's kind of more like back office admin type stuff. What does that not, just pumping on the brakes look like for you right now?
So all of the above plus video. So one nice thing about video and my current clients loved it because, now they're going to be a little bit more one-on-one and I'm sending them a 3 to 5 minute video talking about some details, hoping things are great, looking forward to seeing them, blah, blah. It's very personal and sincere. But when you're reaching out to a person and they're used to getting 20 missed calls from you and emails and texts and everything else, all of a sudden having that video out there and the person clicks it and you're a real person, talking to them and going through it. Hey, look, you had some concerns about, is your money protected from a market downturn? I get it. A lot of people are like that. The good news is I fix it. I know the holidays are coming up. It's a very busy time for me. I'm sure it's busy for you too. Let's spend 5 minutes together just to see if it's worth talking after the new year. And if it is, we'll have some purpose in some direction. And if not, that's fine too. I wish you a happy holiday season, blah, blah, blah. Just to get them engaged. Is it going to work with everybody? No. Is everybody going to pick up are they going to click through the link? No. But the point is, it's better than sitting around going, well.
And so you mentioned something I think is really powerful. And I do come from a sales background before I got involved in more of the client relations side. And I know video has become a really powerful tool. So when you're making these videos, do you more focus on just like kind of one catch-all, or do you personalize these videos so each client gets their own video? You mentioned their name, talking about maybe some specific things they answered on a survey, and then also on top of that is what do you find more effective? Because I've seen like people get real studio. You got the mic at your desk. I've also seen where people are like, I'm just casually out on a stroll walking my dog. Thought I'd send you this video while I'm out and about. So if you explain the sort of the different formats, what do you kind of see more effective?
So I do individualize ones for customers. I do individualize them for people who are active in the pipeline. We've had the lead maybe, let's say, in the last like 90 days. Obviously the very new ones as well. My daughter has been doing that for a couple reasons. One, she needs to learn it for her thing. And secondly, she's a lot prettier than me. So she's probably going to get a couple more click-throughs than I do. But I do also believe in, like through Loom, for example, you can make a video on there where there's a way where you give it, you say, hey, watermelon. And it sounds dumb to say watermelon, but that's the buzzword for their AI to superimpose the person's words or the person's name, and it will say any person's name. So I have about 2,000 old leads that they're hitting on Monday, this Monday coming up. And I recorded one video, okay, links in the top thing, so if I'm looking at you and saying, hey, Jesse, it looks like I'm speaking to you. And when I say, hey, Paul, hey, Allan, hey, whoever, it looks like it's going to them. Those are not personalized because those are leads that are up to 2 years old. And it's one of those, hey, we haven't been able to connect, but I figured maybe they have a shot here. I actually put a little link to schedule time with me. I talk about that later. You can put a little link in the video. I do want to make it personal for newer people in the pipeline, but I want to reach everybody else. So if you've been in this business for any bit of time, I'm sure you have a bunch of old leads. You still want to foster them. There is business there. I have, maybe 600 old Vroom leads that I haven't closed. So those are all going to get that video.
What's the best way to get that sent out? I know in GHL, we can't necessarily send video files out through text message. So do you text the link? Do you send emails? What kind of delivery format do you use?
So use my actual email address for my actual company. And that way it looks like it's coming from a real place. Does it affect the open ratio? Maybe it does. You can try to send it through the Vroom software as well. Like I have a Google Voice number. It does send through there. So if you have a cell phone number, get yourself a Google Voice number and send it through there. Google Voice is great. And it's like, I think it's still free. There's analytics that shows the click-through rate. And some of them I think even show like how much of it they watch. So if it's 65 seconds and they only watch the first 15 seconds, and I'm seeing that a lot, then I'm obviously going to go, the first 15 seconds just isn't compelling.